Hello and welcome to Cricbuzz. There is excitement in the air as both Australia and India gear up to this test match within the multi-format series because it's the first time these two countries have met in 15 years. Plus, for the Indian women, it's the first time they get to play a day-night test. So it's time to preview the test match. Both teams were jumping out of their skin when it was announced that this series would include a test match. I've already said 15 years since they last played at Adelaide Oval, but more importantly, it's a pink ball test. Lisa Sthalekar came out and said on Twitter, guess what everyone, I know this isn't a big deal, but I get to play 2 tests in a summer. And as for Smriti Mandhana, she was been watching the pink ball test match, thinking and wondering, when would I ever get an opportunity? Probably won't. Well, she does now. So where are we at in this multi-format series? Remembering that points are allocated to each of the 3 formats. Australia lead 4 points to 2. Yet there are still 10 points on offer with 4 points put down for the test match. So it is so crucial for both sides just to get the upper hand. India have now shown in England and also in Australia that they're fighters. Doesn't matter what's happened in previous matches, they've found a way to get back on top. There is a real belief within this playing group that they can beat any side, that they're not far off their best cricket, and yet when you look at their preparation, it has never been ideal. They've had to quarantine to get into a camp, to then go and fly overseas and then do some more quarantine. No domestic cricket since March, which a lot of them played in that series against South Africa, yet they're taking on the best teams in the world and they're absolutely competing. So they're on cloud 9 and no doubt will come into this match feeling like they've actually got a bit of opportunity to take one over Australia. Remember, Australia haven't played since April this year, and they haven't played a test match since 2019. So India may have a slight advantage coming into this one-off test. As for conditions, well, it's the first time a test match will be played at Metricon Stadium at the Gold Coast. But what I can tell you is Matthew Mott, the head coach of the Australian side, 2 days out said there's a good amount of grass coverage, which means pace and bounce. And with the pink ball under lights, we already saw the white ball up in Mackay under lights and it moved a lot. So this pink ball under lights with a little bit more grass means it should be exciting and a real decent battle between bat versus ball. Also, there is expected some rain on day 1 and day 2. So that may mean the covers are put on and it bakes a little bit and steams away under there. But fingers crossed we're able to find a result in this test match. As for the playing 11, a big blow for the Australian team. Rachel Haynes, the Australian vice-captain, won't be taking part in the series. Unfortunately, she hurt her hamstring in the field. There's question marks about Beth Mooney. She seems to be tracking okay. Georgia Wareham, again, Sophie Molyneux, nothing was said about her. So hopefully a few stitches and she's right to go. So my playing 11 for the Australian team is Elisa Healy and Beth Mooney to open the batting, Meg Lanning, Elise Perry, Talia McGrath to come at that number 5 position, Ashley Gardner at 6, Sophie Molyneux at 7, Annabelle Sutherland. I think she's done enough in that last one-day game in the middle overs to bang the ball in. And I think they're going to need it. Remembering you've got to take 20 wickets to win a test match. Then I've got Georgia Wareham. I get a sense that the Australian team want a leggy in there and they feel like she only just missed out on her test debut back in 2019. So I get a sense they want to go there. And then you've got to go with the 2 youngsters, Darcy Brown and Stella Campbell. So it's a young bowling attack, missing their vice-captain, but still a pretty good team. So my Indian playing 11 is Shafali Verma, Smriti Mandhana, Poonam Raut comes in, a specialist I think for number 3, Mithali Raj. Then there's real question marks. Harmanpreet Kaur, do you put her in? Hasn't played. We saw her knocking. Or do you give it to one of the 2 players who have really shown us some exciting things, Yastika Bhatia or Richa Ghosh? if anything, I'd go with Yastika Bhatia, left-hander, something different as well. Then Dipti Sharma, Sneh Rana, Tanya Bhatia comes in. I think you've got to have your best glove person behind the stumps, because remember, 20 wickets is crucial. Pooja Vastrika, Julan Goswami and Meghna Singh. I can't wait to see both Goswami and Singh with that pink ball under lights. It's going to be breathtaking. Key battles for me, Meghna Singh versus Elisa Healy. We've seen a little bit of it in the ODIs, but no doubt, under lights, pink ball, it is going to be another battle in itself. Goswami versus Healy and Lanning. She's already picked them both up with peaches of delivery. Goswami is only going to get better. She's like a great wine, red wine. It just keeps getting better and better. And then from an Australian perspective, Brown and Campbell versus Shafali Verma. I think that will be good. And obviously Mithali Raj, one of the best players out there, the amount of runs that she's scored. So they're the key battles for me. Dark horse, I'll give you one from each side. Poonam Raut. She's been sitting on the sideline, just itching away. Disappointed, no doubt, that she's not part of the one-day squad. But here's her chance just to prove how valuable she is to this Indian team, especially if they're going to play Test cricket. However, she hasn't been able to face these young, fast, quick. So if she can get on top of the pace and bounce really quickly, I think she'll do really well. And for Australia, Annabelle Sutherland. I really hope that she gets the opportunity to wear the baggy green. I think she has the class to do really well in Test cricket. She bangs the ball in, she'll give them something with the ball, but boy, she can bat and find some late runs as well. So they're my two dark horses. Favourites? Well, it's a tough one, simply because India come in having played just recently a Test match. Australia haven't played a lot yet, they're in their home conditions. I reckon it's Australia just, but if Beth Mooney isn't fit, then I sway and I go straight to India. So fingers crossed from Australian perspective, Beth Mooney is right to go. Finally, we get to talk about Test cricket a little bit more. There seems to be more and more fixtures popping up, and I love the fact that it sits in this multi-format series. It gives it context, and you have to be the best over 3 different formats. When I know things are going well and when I know Test cricket is going to stay, is when they actually decide to name a trophy, put some names in it, and we see some reverse fixtures. I really hope moving forward that we see the Australian team go over to India and play a Test series there and play this multi-format series. Once that starts to happen, I know that Test cricket will stay in the women's cricket calendar. I can't wait for the first pink ball Test match to be played between these two countries, and you're going to get all of the action after every day's play with me here on Cricbuzz.